epitome of a perfect soldier, I would choose a mountain leader, Royal Marine mountain leader.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think anyone can argue that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Especially if you understand what they're about. Because, like you say, soldiering-wise, I don't think the Corps produces a better soldier than an ML. Troops, welcome back to Beyond the Front Line with me and James Williams, episode 12. So, just to kind of bring you up on things, guys, we were talking about you'd just come back from Afghanistan, you'd done a bit of time at Fleet Protection Group, it's now 4-3 Commando, changes names all the times, that place. And, you know, you're barely out of the box, having done 2 Afghans effectively, and you're picking up, having already been a Lance Corporal at Faz's, you're now getting sent back down to do a junior command course. Talk to us.
Before we go on that, Ryan, can mate, do you know much about FPGRM?
I never went there.
Why is it that I seem to recall that FPG is you have to go to FPGRM as a bootneck if you wish to go SFSG?
Oh,
does that ring a bell? It's like
when I was
the
first
gateway.
in.
It's like the gateway to SFSG.
In fact,
they recruit only from Fazlane.
I think it's down to, if I recall correctly, it was a bit of a thing when I was first in the Corps, trying to get through the course, which is a similar time as when you actually made it through.
Do you know what?
Certainly wasn't a thing when I was there the second time around. I tell you how it was thought of as I don't want to say a shit draft, but it was a shit burger, really. You know, you're getting sent up there, despite all of the good points that you could get from the place. Training was good up there, wasn't it? And the soldiering
and also,
skills.
Mate, listen, behind the wire, mate, the food isn't half bad.
Yeah, it's a Matlow base, isn't it, effectively? So
yeah, mate, the food is not half bad. You know? Do you know what? That's the only bad thing about it. You just reminded me.
Putting on weight.
No. When you walk around Fazlane FPGR the camp, you have to salute all the Navy officers. And
Did that catch you out?
If you don't, oh my God, are they precious about it?
Yeah, they are precious about it. I don't know what it is about Matlow, especially officers. On camp,
mate,
they're throbbing. On ship, they're hoofing. Like,
mate, I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue what the visual is for the rank structure of a Navy officer. Like, man, I understand 1 pip, 2 pip. You know, I understand crown. I understand all of that, but I had no idea with those Navy. And do you know what? They were precious about that. God, did they hold you to account if you didn't salute them on the camp? I don't know. It seemed very much like it was almost like a power thing over a Royal Marine.
Very much a power, yeah. They didn't hold that power on ship, though, I tell you. Because they knew we were on there as a company and the Sergeant Major and everything was there. It's like, you know, you're in close proximity.
They never get thrown off.
Yeah, mate, this screw. I remember having a mint time on ship for that reason. But whenever it was on camp, they had turned into Throbwario or Leviosa, you know, horrendous.
Mate, the only reason I say that is because, you know, especially on my socials and in our chats as well, Ryan, there's a lot of questions and fascination with SFSG. You know, you've seen it on the social media platforms. SFSG, it must just be my real. I don't know. I don't check them out, but from a military standpoint, they seem to attract a lot of attention.
I think so. Yeah.
So just for information for the viewers and that, I seem to recall, but at the time it may have changed. But if you wanted to go SFSG, the gateway to there, like, official gateway was you go to Fazlane. We recruit from Fazlane.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. My thinking of it is, for back in the day anyway, very busy time for Afghan and everything anyway. Bit of a shit burger in the eyes of the bootnecks wanting to go to fighting units instead of going to fleet protection. But the end result is the manning for SFSG is they're going to get good lads regardless. They're going to be fit, good lads who are on top of stuff.
Yeah.
That's the only way of thinking. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
you've experienced it. You know, you're all fit up there, aren't you? If you're not
Mate,
rapping, I
do you know
don't think
what?
you can rap, can you?
I was incredibly fit when I came out of CTC. I kept that fitness throughout the Afghan tours. I mean, I remember on Herrick 7, we got iron bars and threw them into the Hesco Bastion to create dip bars. We managed to get like some Olympic bars and some Olympic plates. We were doing clean and press, snatches, power cleans, real power moves. Doing that as well on army rations, mate. Not the best diet. I mean, there's a picture. I've actually got a picture of must have been about 9 or 10 of us. They took a picture of us, and we're in Fob Inkerman in the sun, surrounded by the sand, the Hesco Bastion. We're all there in just shorts. Some of us just our pants. That's it. And mate, it looked like with the tan, we looked like the cast of 300, mate. Mate, we looked like a Spartan army, mate. We were shredded, we were tanned, we were obviously fighting fit. That's all we were doing. We were just fighting. We were carrying ammunition. We were carrying 1,000 rounds, GPMG. Mate, we were just carrying and getting in contacts with that shit, and you know, just breaking contact with that shit and moving through the ground. You know, it's like, mate, the picture. I'll see if I can dig the picture out, and I'll see if I can, get it on here, mate. It's a good one.
Has that been on socials before? Has it?
I haven't put it out, mate, because I'm just in my pants. I haven't got the nerve to do it at the moment.
Get it on, get it out there.
So you turn around to me and say, "Are you a true bootneck? You haven't got the nerve to put a picture of yourself up in your pants."
Naked foot.
What's wrong with that? Yeah. So yeah.
So you're at Faz's. You got a good grade, and you're a lance corporal anyway.
Yep, I got a B grade raws. Yeah.
So that's happened all in the space of like a couple of years, which is, I mean, that's insane.
I got my B grade raws. If I was to calculate this, I got given my B grade raws. For those that don't know, it's a grading on your report, which means you're eligible for a junior command course. I got my B grade raws. I don't know what raws stands for. Something. Report. It's obviously got report in there somewhere.
Report an annual write up, something or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Something like that. I got my B grade raws about a year and 9 months out of CTCRM. Yeah, mate, that's rapid. Do you know what? I'm not sure if I actually hold the record for that or something, mate. I'm not sure.
I mean, if we're not talking about, like, if we take out battle casualty promotion type thing, like battlefield promotion, if we forget about that, it's up there, and it's got to be.
Yeah. So I've obviously done my SBS briefing course, as I said, and I was eligible for course selection 19 SBS, for joint selection, SAS SBS. However, the B grade raws has come along, so I've got this decision. What do? How I would word it? Do I roll the dice on selection? I don't even know why I'm talking like this. This isn't very Recruit Williams again in the third person. Considering that what happens if I fail selection, that shouldn't have been in the mentality. Or do I go for the junior command course and then attempt selection, knowing that if I fail selection and come back, at least I'm still a corporal. I've actually got something in the bag. There's me thinking that corporal was a given as well. I mean, jumping on the course, that's not a given.
Not when you're trying to navigate around Broughton Burrows.
Mate, honestly.
On the impossible nav.
Yeah, mate. So I've chosen to forsake the SBS briefing course, and I've decided to go with the junior command course. SBS briefing course would have been in January 2009. I've taken the junior command course to start back at Lympstone in the March of 2009. So I've seen my time out at Faz Lane, taken a bit of leave after Christmas, etc. And then I'm turning to at CTCRM exactly 2 years to the day, roughly, Exactly 2 years to the day, roughly. That don't make sense. Somewhere around 2 years to the day. Somewhere around 2 years to the day of the last time that I was there, which was for my King Squad Royal Marine pass out.
So I mean, lads get like 2, sometimes 3-year drafts on training teams down there because everyone's hanging out to either get a bit of leave so they go there, or they've got a few issues so they get stuck on a training team. Did you bump into any of your old training team when you were on that juniors who was still there?
I did, mate. I did.
What
did.
was that like?
I'm not gonna name him.
No.
But I remember being in the galley. I mean, I use words like canteen. I'm very much I very much use civvy terminology. But for the sake of this, I was in the galley, and one of the training team. He wasn't my section commander, so obviously you can take Corporal Glanfield out of this. Has come up to me and gone, "What are you doing back here?" And I'm like, "I'm on my junior command course." And the look of disgust on his face, and I think he actually passed comment, like almost like, "Oh, are they just fucking giving them out now? Are they, or something like that?" And
despite the time frame, there's a. I mean, you think about the activity in the Corps at the time. Very, very busy place in the military, anyway. You know, everything's going on, really, isn't it? Because of Afghan. The recruit training has got an extra emphasis on it because most lads who pass will be getting deployed. Lads, friends of people who are on training teams are getting deployed or are deployed. You had been deployed twice at this point anyway, despite the time frame. So it's a very strange mentality for me to think, because when I was there, I could kind of understand that when there was not much going on, like, not much going on. So we weren't getting experienced at war.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were just literally doing time, and then maybe if you picked up a good report, but for doing what? Time at unit and exercise? I can understand that mentality for my time, but for your time, I think that's a strange way of thinking, I think.
Well, I mean, for this particular corporal, junior command course, I mean, the impression I got from him was that his thoughts were that it's not merit-based, it's time served based. So, and also when I walked into the accommodation, the Y blocks, the Y blocks that we stayed in as a nod, as the first time I was back, we stay in them as on your junior command course.
The one next to Jim's calf.
I've walked back into the Y block for the first time since being there as a recruit, and I walk into my six-man side of it, and in there, in my section for my junior command course, is the guy that took me through my SIGS training 2 years prior as a nod. And he's looked at me and he's gone, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And I've gone, "Well, either I'm fucking awesome,
or you're shit,
or you're absolutely shit, or we could just maybe meet somewhere in the middle." Mate, and I remember one of the exercises on that junior command course. He was breaking down, and I picked his morale up, mate, and I carried him through that exercise in a way, mate.
It's strange, isn't it?
It's nuts.
You're still like strong as a nod, effectively,
mate. I'm still in nod mentality.
Like, if someone tells you to front sport place, you're going to bang them out. No, you're going to start banging them press ups out. No problem.
Yeah.
Whereas some of these lads got a bit of unit attitude and stuff. You haven't had a chance to even form.
They've also got a bit of unit belly.
Unit belly, unit bit of the rap stance. You're fully inserted. Some of them, aren't there? Really,
mate. Talking about that. So you imagine I'm now on my junior command course. I'm literally 2 years out of the box here. I'm on there with aspiring mountain leaders, aspiring PTIs, guys from the SBS who have come back to do their junior command course, because to do the junior command course for the SBS, you come back to the Royal Marines and you carry out your regimental junior command course.
Yeah.
Just as a look forward, that's not the case with the SRR. The SRR's junior command course is SRR specific.
Is that really?
Yep, you don't go. Yep, it's SRR skill set specific, and it has to be because the nature of SRR operators and operations and their skill sets is so finite and so particular that it would be. I'm not sure if you have to. I'm not sure if you have to go back and do your regimental junior command course and then go and do
I'm just
do
thinking
theirs.
here
Yeah,
because you were in a situation where you'd done your regimental unit juniors anyway at the
yeah.
point.
Oh mate, I
I
wasn't eligible
wonder,
to become an SRR corporal, just through doing what do it, mate. They'd be like, well, great. I mean, what use is that to
because
us?
your
You
shadow
want,
rank follows you in the corps, right, until you
yeah,
transfer fully, so to speak.
you want to be a corporal in the SRR. I mean, you got to go through their junior command course, which is exactly what it is: a junior commander, a team leader in the Special Reconnaissance Regiment.
So Hereford lads will do junior Brecon, as they say, with their
Um,
parent unit, their
I
mother
would,
unit. Like if they came from the paras, they'd go back there potentially.
yeah, I would take a guess. Yes, I mean, if there's any guys who know, they can comment on this, can't they? Or if there's any
Because I
form of,
definitely know, like you
yeah,
say, the pool lads, they do come back
yeah. I don't
and
know
they
if they
do
go back to Pole and then do some sort of
some of
like
their own stuff.
SBS specific junior commanding. I
I mean,
don't
I
know,
wouldn't be surprised, but I'd also not be surprised if they didn't because of the quality of the junior command course from the Royal Marines. You know,
mate. It's incredibly high quality, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, it's.
skill at arms.
I think people
Um,
link the
yeah,
juniors with the corps and like a junior command course in certain army regiments is like just a similar bag, but it really isn't. It's
yeah.
not the same at all.
It's 9 weeks long, I believe. Yeah, so it is 9 weeks long because I started it late March and I finished it early June.
What was it like going through the gates for that first time since commando training without the cameras this time?
Do you know what? I was obviously a lot more chilled because I'd done some time. I wasn't there for the nod thrashing. I was there for something maybe a little bit more adult, a little bit more not productive. Maybe something with a little bit more respect. However, when I came across the chief instructor, I mean, it was pretty much nod routine. I mean, he
I've
was,
heard.
yeah, he was saying else, mate.
Yeah, it is
Um,
back to mess tins and stuff, isn't it?
it is, mate.
Effectively,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
easier
so
transition for you being relatively new out the box. You think, or
well,
some of the
listen,
lads there will have done
yeah,
8 years and stuff before they got on
mate.
that
Yes,
juniors, right?
yeah, some lads have done 12 years.
It's mental, eh?
Um, now you imagine I've got this is my first type of real course, obviously excluding the SBS briefing course, but that's different. That's just a 5-day absolute physical thrashing.
Mm,
I'm on a course now where I'm no longer the top dog. Through Royal Marine training, I shone from the start, and I kept that, and I guess it showed on the program. But
mm,
now all of a sudden I'm in a pool with SBS guys, aspiring mountain leaders, snipers, PTIs. I mean, mate, the competition is a lot greater now, a lot greater. It's a lot more
yeah.
intense.
I mean, you've got some lads on there who not only aspiring to go ML, as soon as that juniors is done, they're on the course.
As soon
They're
as yeah,
loaded,
boom,
you
straight on,
know,
they're loaded.
and
I bet,
PTIs as well, right?
mate,
They're on that course.
and there's it's like when I do my boxing training, I'm talking to my boxing trainer and he talks about there's levels. And we're talking about guys that get in and sparring, like the professionals that get in and spar, there's levels. And when you're sparring someone who can fight, there's levels. It's the same with this. There's levels to Marines. So
There
now
is,
you're
yeah.
in a pool with guys who are going to go and do their MLs. There's levels.
I mean, I've heard many people, like one quite famous Marine, Passion Munro, who went SBS for about 12 years. He was an ML, I think, and he talks about it being considerably harder than selection.
well, the
And
ML's
many,
course, yeah.
I mean, when I was in, it probably is the same with you. I knew very early on that the mountain leaders were phenomenal.
Mate, when I remember in CTC as a nod, the mountain leaders, I don't know if you got this set, mate, did not in a derogatory way, but did they come across almost like slightly unhinged, slightly psychotic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're everything that I was told about them. I think, I mean,
they are made of a coffin nail, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, you got to think like 150-mile skis in the Arctic and meeting up with agents and stuff and doing all of the reconnaissance stuff. And
mate, but Ryan, the 2-month tactical Norway exercise. Now that's easy to put in words, but for people who don't understand, tactical exercise in an environment where it's freezing cold, there's no hot food, there's no hot wets, there's nothing to perk you up, and it's 2 months long. Like
2 months,
mate, it's
I mean, it's 13 months long or something as well, isn't it?
Mate,
to be an ML of it's horrendous. Every ML I knew, I've never met a gash ML. You can't cuff that course? You can't cuff that. You got to have something about you. I was lucky when I went.
In my eyes, if you are to like, you know, almost illustrate the epitome of a perfect soldier, I would choose a mountain leader, Royal Marine mountain leader.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think anyone can argue that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Especially if you understand what they're about. Because, like you say, soldiering-wise, I don't think the Corps produces a better soldier than an ML. Close second would be sniper, but it's a very short course, isn't it? So I think those guys, you know, they're already good probably at unit doing the sniper course, whereas you're going to get good doing the ML course, aren't you?
How about those guys, and they are about who do the ML's course and then go and do selection afterwards?
I know one or two, and again, I've heard all of them say it. Why would they say this when, let's be honest, in terms of brownie points and everything else, selection and doing what they do, that's the ultimate ego thing. If they wanted it to be, that's the card they're going to throw. And all of them have said that the ML course is harder, considerably harder. And that's crazy to me.
When you hear those stories, it's like, are you a glutton for punishment? Do you actually, like, are you some sort of pain pervert? Like, you've done your MLs, you've done a bit of time as an ML, and now you're going to go and do, I mean, do you just like going through horrific courses?
I can't imagine doing 13 months of that.
Yeah.
But did you ever think of going ML at one point?
I never thought of going ML. So this is where I got a GD corporal's course, so general duties.
Really?
Again,
that is such a rarity.
That's rocking horse, isn't it? Rocking horse shit. Like, you know,
I've been given a lot of like decent. You've I know you've played. You have to play the cards that you're given as well.
Yeah,
some lads play them shit. You've played them well, granted, but it's kind of materialized really good up till now.
Mate,
was that your experience?
Mate, when I look back over it, the whole career couldn't have got any more perfect.
Like,
I don't think
it aligned from bang, from stepping off that train, captured by Chris Turrell as well. Like literally captured there and then. The stars aligned for the next, over a decade.
yeah, it did. So, talking about, you know, desire to specialize, it was my junior command course where I would then start to make the decisions as to what do I want to do now for the rest of my career. Where do I want to go? Yeah. So I'm on a junior command course. I'm no longer the best soldier. There's lads out there with a huge wealth of experience. Bringing that experience to the course, it's evident. So the SBS guys the professionalism, you could see it just shine through. Even at that stage, though, I was fascinated, had that SF fascination. I was fascinated with the SBS cap badge on their berets,
Did that
looking at
captivate you a bit, watching
it.
them
Still
around
does. It
camp?
still did, mate. Yeah, still did, mate. Yeah. And then the PTIs, they were incredibly professional as well, because they're going to go and do a very, very professional course, even though it's not really soldiering. How long is their course? I think their course is
about 28 weeks.
28 weeks. Yeah, 28 weeks long.
So it's nearly another commando training again, but very, very intense.
Yeah, I mean,
and granted, not a soldiering specific course to a degree, but one of the very few drafts that will keep you in a fighting billet, in a fighting unit company.
Oh, mate, yeah. If on an Afghan tour, you'd be selected straight to be a section commander. Yeah.
So, I mean, that shows you the weight that holds.
Yeah.
So
that's after pretty much running around Limpston in the sun in a white vest,
using hair gel for a living.
That's it.
Hair gel instead of weapon oil, or probably weapon oil as well. To be fair,
but so I mean, the MLs as well, they came across stupidly professional. I was in a section with some SBS guys, some MLs, and some PTIs. I mean, that was my section.
And you, the GD bod.
I was the GD out of the box for 1.5 years. Like, wow. Mate, this would shine through because the makeup of that section would shine through because, God, there's a log run on the junior command course. You do a log run. You do the endurance course with a log.
That's right, yeah.
Mate, we absolutely smashed it. No one came near us, mate. I was stupidly fit, and this would shine through later on the junior command course. And I was on a section with PTIs, MLs, and SB guys.
So you were hammering it, yeah.
Mate, no one came near us. We were carrying that log around that endurance course like it was nothing.
Wow.
And you know what? The phys side of the junior command course, I didn't come top. I did some really good sets of orders. One of the instructors said that was the best set of orders I've ever seen. I thought it was just a standard set of orders. I mean, I was hanging out in some wood. In pork chop wood, I think, in the middle of the night towards the end of even just saying pork chop wood. Even
people
just
don't
saying
know
pork
it though,
chop
do they,
wood.
unless they've served.
It's grim, mate. I'm hanging out. It's towards the end of the exercise. I think I might have done 5 or 6 nights in this godforsaken wood, which is like it's like its
own freezer.
It's like its own little horrific little wooden
ecosystem.
You're in a loop inside this wood for fucking 7 days. Oh my God, I feel like I'm in a prison, but there's no bars holding me in. And I did a set of orders, and I thought it was just pretty standard. But the DS turned around to me at the end and went to the section. That was the best set of orders I've seen in the whole course. So wow. I did well on some things, but the one thing that I did smash and I beat all the SB guys, all the MLs, all the PTIs was the Royal Marine Fitness Assessment.
Really?
They put scores up on the board of everything, so you could see where you was coming on a course. And I was never at the top on the junior command course for anything because I was in with the big boys now, whereas in Royal Marine training, I was coming top, all of that. I was with the big boys now, so it was different. It was a different ball game. However, the Royal Marine Fitness Assessment, which you do on the junior command course, which is a pass or fail.
It's an RTU, isn't it? You get sent back the unit.
I came top of that.
So that's your gym tests. You're doing
that's bleep test,
sit-ups, pull-ups, bleep.
Yeah. Bleep test, press ups to the beep, pull ups to the beep, sit ups to the beep, and a bleep test.
And I'm guessing you do a BFT as well.
No.
Or the one in the sole in the gym.
All the gym. And for each one of those, you get marked 100 points. So you imagine I maxed out press ups, 100 points. I maxed out sit ups, 100 points. I maxed out pull-ups, 100 points. So I'm on 300 out of 400. And I think I got level 14.4 on the bleep test. So I got 84 points for that. I got 384 points out of 400. And it was because of this. This was one reason, but also because I was in a gym every night. You can use a gym as... first time I could use a gym at Limpston. You can't use it as an odd, can you? Unless you're in Hunter Troop.
So you're able to use the gym as well on your juniors?
Yeah,
crack
yeah,
it
yeah,
because it's
mate.
big
Oh,
boy
yeah.
rules, isn't it?
Mate, it's
Effectively.
big progress. Yeah, I mean, I always, my whole career, even if I was on courses where I was getting 3 hours sleep a night, I was making sure I got to the gym every day, even if it was for half hour, just for mental sanity, just to keep that blood flowing through my veins, just to keep me on top form. I did the same on the juniors, and when I was in the gym, training hard, but if serving PTIs would come up to me and say, "You're on junior command course, yeah, yeah. What specialization are you going? I'm GD. Oh, mate, listen, consider joining the PTI corps."
So they were poaching you.
Yeah, mate, they actively were, mate, and it was, you know what, it was really flattering to me.
Would you have, knowing you as well, you'd have enjoyed part of that, right? Would that
Oh,
have
mate,
been a good
for
job for you?
this was the thing. So when it came round to finishing my junior command course, I did complete my junior command course. I passed it. When it came round to finishing it, I then was like, right, okay, what am I going to go and do? And it was between, I made the choice, and it was, I had to sit and think about this, between applying for the to be a PTI or going on SRR briefing course and trying to get on course 110, the first course of January for SRR selection. Because my next thing that I had the desire for, the buzz for, was SRR. SBS, the briefing course, although I had the briefing course in a bag, it just wasn't a thing in my head at that time, and I don't know why.
Despite like doing the juniors with them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did it allow you to kind of rethink about what you really want to do in special forces, as opposed to just bog standard floor pattern for bootnecks is to go hurt a pool, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know what? Do you know what? Maybe it was almost like an unintentional condor moment to kind of assess. And when I look back on it like that, I've never really thought about it like that, Ryan. You just pointed it out. I'm grateful for going on that junior command course, and I'm grateful for having that little bit of time at Livingston afterwards. I think I was serving in the provost just for a bit, marking time whilst I did my SRR briefing course.
Everyone gets a provy draft when they're waiting for a course, don't they?
Mate, that's it. I was up at the main gate, like literally kicking nods out every week, or taking their knives off them because they weren't allowed to take their knives home when they were going home and not finishing the course. I mean, I remember I was taking lads to where's the military court down in Essex?
Colchester.
I was taking lads down to Colchester when they really fucked up. Like,
Probably it was fun, I think.
Mate, Provy, I just literally. This is actually the only time in my life where really, the only time in my military life where really I've just dossed for a couple of months, just marking time. I wasn't dossing from the fact that I had nothing to do because I knew where I was going. I'd made the decision. It was a decision I had to deliberate: PTI or SRR. I chose to go SRR. So I've got my briefing course for SRR in November. I've finished my junior command course in June. I've made my intentions clear. They said, right, okay, from June through until November-ish, you can mark time at the provost. We need help up there. And then obviously successful on my SRR briefing course, I went back to the provost just before Christmas leave. And then when I wrapped up for Christmas leave at CTCRM in the provost, that was the last I would ever see of the corps. That was the last I would ever see of them, because course 110, I'd go on course 110 and I'd never look back after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's so, wow. Okay. So after about God knows how many hours, 20 odd hours, that is from start to finish effectively of your bootneck experience, actual bootneck serving experience.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right, that we've summarized, a couple of years into hours. I mean, 20 hours is a long time still.
Yeah. Do you know, I mean, and I could sit here and I could reminisce. I mean, like I said, but Herrick 7, there was somewhere, somewhere in excess of 80 contacts. 80
We could,
contacts.
I think that's probably going to come up in the future. In fact, I know it will.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that even me and you talk offline that we go, that would be good. That would be a podcast in itself. So I think, obviously we've got a fair bit to go with you still, really, with a few things. But I think a lot of your stories are going to be rekindled through thought from speaking to lads who've also served in Afghanistan at similar times to you from different cap badges. So that's why I'm looking forward to getting a few guests on as well, so that just to hear, different angle from your experience, one that you can relate to other people. Because I can't relate to the Afghan story because I've never been. So it's a story for me. It's not an experience.
Do you know what? On that note, there, what you just said there, the thing that comes to mind is I've had like my career, especially with the SRR. It's like living in a movie. It's weird. It's like living in some sort of movie. I mean, I've done some things. I really have. I really have been very lucky to do some unbelievably far out weird and wonderful operations, reported to the highest level of US government, reported to Barack Obama the next day, the impact that this small team of crazy British soldiers out in this theater, the results they've had on this mission, being briefed to the White House the next day because of its impact that it's going to have. However, talking about that, talking to other people who've been to Afghan, very excited to hopefully get Dave Redband on here. For some reason, I really want to hear his stories.
I do as well.
Yeah,
I think the dynamic that we've both heard, I think we can agree. I think we'll be able to get a certain story out of him as well. I think I'm looking forward to hearing that, and I know he's keen for it to come on. So drop some comments down below, guys. Hopefully we can get him on pretty soon. But
and I guess coming up next, Ryan, we'll be starting to encroach on SRR, the journey through SRR, and I know I get a lot of comments, especially. When are we going to hear about the SRR? We're going to hear about the SRR. We're going to hear about selection. When we're going to hear about operations with the SRR. It's one of those ones that I'm going to have to really kind of tactically navigate.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
I think both. I mean, question and answer really, but one thing's for sure. However it's portrayed and however it's said or spoken upon, it is happening and it will be happening here. And that's probably's next, right? I'm guessing. Junior Command, SRR. Yeah, within the realms of what you can speak about, I guess. So look forward to that. James, thanks for your time, mate, again on this one. SRR stuff next, I guess, right?
No problem. All good, mate.
Happy days.
Happy days. Cheers for that.